Bada bing, bada boom, friendo.
Bada bing, bada
Hi.
boom.
Welcome to the Cine-Scoots movie show.
I'm
It's been
glad. I'm
it's
glad
been a
that this
hot
is
minute.
it's been a very hot minute. I'm glad this is the IP that's brought
You
us out of
know,
that's brought us up
just
out of our hibernation.
how they took like 3 years.
Well,
Just how they took 3 years.
3 years for a movie is reasonable.
3 years for this type of movie feels less reasonable.
Hmm. Hmm.
Don't get me wrong, 3 years for a movie like I would even say like Avengers, like big facts heavy movies.
Star Wars
Like
used to come out every 3 years.
Star Wars, like lots of special effects. That I'm like, yes, that does take a while. However, this ain't that. This is very ensemble. This is very drama. This is very comedy.
And I'll say with that time, they used no energy for like advertising this shit.
No,
I'm not saying they
and
didn't advertise it, but it was barely advertised.
my hope with this franchise, and we can talk about this a little bit more later. My hope with this franchise is that just how the franchise didn't actually start with Netflix.
Hmm.
Now that this deal with Netflix ends, Netflix doesn't own it.
Is this the last one for Netflix?
I think so.
Oh,
I can't confirm,
yeah.
but do think it would be for the better
Yep, absolutely.
if Netflix gets their greedy hands off of this thing. Because it's fucking stupid.
Let's walk the people through how we had to jump through all sorts of hoops to
It's so
see.
fucking dumb. So we're talking about Wake Up Dead Man, which is the third in the Knives Out franchise. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have a lot of like not necessarily like I had hope. I had no expectations for Knives Out originally.
Oh, really?
My main thing was, hey, I like Ryan Johnson, and that's about it. And I liked
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. So
I
I
was
was like, oh,
excited to see them do something, but I did not expect it to be, it's
great.
kind of like those Sherlock Holmes movies. You're like, I had a good time, but I'm not geared up for the next one. But this was the opposite. I was very much gearing up for the
Yeah,
next
so
one and
Knives
the
Out
next
comes out in 2019. Very good. This is post Ryan getting kind of fucked out of Disney.
Such a shame.
Such a shame because I
Such a
still
shame.
say that The Last Jedi is one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
This had to come out around The Rise of Skywalker then,
This came out
because
like the month before.
I saw this like November, December of 2019.
Yep, it was great. It was
Yeah,
great. It was amazing. A lot of fun. Oodles of fun.
yeah,
Then we get hit with a pandemic,
yeah.
and 3 years waiting. In that time span, Ryan strikes a deal with Netflix. They're like, "Hey, we are going to pay you to make movies exclusively for us,"
Which is
and he got a lot of money.
good for
I
him.
think they got 400 for this
I'll say
deal.
I'll say good for him for getting the money. I'll say, and part of what makes this a shame is like it doesn't do when you see the movie come up on like the big screen, it doesn't do
Mhm.
like the badum, but it gives like the big N forming,
It
and
does
then I'm
make a
like, this
noise,
looks
but it's a
nice.
different noise.
It's a different noise, but I'm like, this looks nice. I would even take the badum. I'm like, Netflix, just push this over.
Push your shit. That's the thing that I don't understand. They could make money. Like,
They
could you imagine how much more money they would have made
Yeah.
if fucking Frankenstein had been in theaters
So
for longer?
we went in on a Wednesday evening, and it was a party. It was like Thanksgiving. It was Blackout Wednesday. That was the night. That was the night that we
Mm,
were. And it was a pretty crowded theater.
it's very crowded.
Yeah. The hoops that we had to go through to organize a time to see this movie, I thought were outrageous. So
That's
first and
ridiculous.
foremost, we had scheduled time for a matinee show. And then crimes touched my family. So we had to go make sure that justice was served. So then we had to like pivot, kind of like back and forth, deciding between times a couple times. So we pivoted to in the the next day in the evening, like right before Thanksgiving.
Hmm, hmm.
neither of which are two preferred theaters because for whatever reason, big theater markets, Netflix no quiere here. And like I could maybe see the logic of this like 3 years ago, but now that every other streamer has by and large like kind of adopted this model of like, here's our big blockbuster movie. By the way, like in 4 weeks you'll see it on streaming anyway. Then just like keep your fucking out for a bit longer. Like, I feel like people will see it. Are people not watching Superman on HBO because they saw it, like, in the theater? I don't know. I'm sure there's different logic going on in their head that I'm not getting, but I'm upset.
And I do think it's partly it is the theater chains. It's the theater chains that are making it probably
Harder.
harder than it needs to.
Mhm.
Because I think what I've heard was Netflix is like, "Hey, you know what? Fine. We'll play our movies, but we would like them to be day and date." And theaters are like, "Absolutely fucking not. Like, we
Like, they would like
want
them to be.
exclusivity."
Yeah.
And so then they're like, that's, I think, the biggest fight is like, okay, what is the exclusivity window that they're happy with? Because clearly it's about 3 fucking weeks.
I thought it was less for this.
For this
I
is less. For this, no,
Yeah.
for this is about 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
For this is about 3 weeks 'cause it comes out right now, and it's not coming to streaming until December 3rd.
Is it direct? Is it, like, done in theaters and then straight
Yeah.
to streaming?
So it
Gotcha.
comes out Wednesday of this week, technically Tuesday, so the
Yeah.
25th. So about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So, like, it's less than 3 weeks, and that makes them unhappy about it.
Yeah.
Um, because like a lot of other places, like Warner Brothers will usually do about 4 weeks,
In
and
theaters.
then it's like and then it starts hitting rental and, like, premium on demand,
Yeah.
and you're like, "God damn it," like, because there's a lot of movies that like Superman, you said, that comes out, it is in theaters, it's doing really good, and then they put it on streaming, and people are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why would I go rent it or why would I go watch it in theaters when I can rent it at home and save myself some money, right?
And we also have to talk about the fact that society is just wrong, and a
Yeah,
lot of them just don't wanna go.
it's fucking
It's like
dumb.
all my coworkers have 0 interest in ever going out for a movie. Like,
Mine too.
they'll cite the usual things, one of them is cost, and I will stick to my guns that if the theater problem for you is being cost, then that's kind of imposed on you. I'm not saying
Mhm.
like bringing kids, I think is like a separate thing, but like you don't have to get everybody a popcorn. You don't have to get everybody a drink, right? You can just pay the cost of tickets, and it's I would say a reasonable price to pay for.
Motherfuckers, we have movie passes.
Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry, like, if you go to the movie twice a month,
worth it,
that's paid off because it's
worth it.
like a ticket to a non-matinee movie, like, on the day it comes out, if you go see it, you not even Dolby, you're looking at 12, $13,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
If you go see it in Dolby, it's 17. If you go see it in IMAX, it's 18, 19.
yeah,
So, like, you go see one movie a month and you're almost set. So, like, if you're really concerned about cost and, like, missing out on things, because some people are like, "Oh, I'd like to go see it, but it's too expensive." I'm like, well,
yeah,
if you do this thing, then you can go see any movie you want, and then you don't feel like you're missing out on things.
precisely,
Like, then you can make the effort, say, "Hey, I'm paying for this, might as well use it."
precisely,
And you
precisely.
get cultured.
Cultured. And
Cultured.
what price can you put on that?
Apparently 24.99. But
Well,
anyway,
thank you everybody for this coming to this edition of Javi and Lano, or maybe out of touch with the rest of society, but
hashtag not sponsored.
hashtag speaking the truth.
But
Exactly.
okay, but here's the other thing that kind of does bug me though. The amount of times that like you really want something to succeed and people are like, "Hey, this is really good. Go see this."
Yeah,
And then no one goes sees this. But then you come up with some fucking slop and
yeah,
it makes oodles of money. And you're
yeah,
like, "This is why we can't have anything nice because then we have this movie, which listen, I understand that Netflix doesn't care. Netflix would much rather not get anything theatrically for this movie if it means that they can put it on their fucking service and they get X amount of hours views, right?
right.
But you can also tell it's a fucking lie
Mm,
because look at what they did with K-pop Demon Hunters. Like
I
that
don't
movie
think
comes out. Have you seen it?
I have not yet.
Wonderful, wonderful little animated movie for kids. Banger, banger music.
Yes.
Comes out, it is tops of the charts since, like, it came out in June. Like, it has
Yeah.
not left, like, the top 2 or 3 spots.
It was a big surprise.
Big surprise. It comes out, and people are like, "You guys are leaving a lot of fucking money in the market." And they're like,
Yeah.
"No, we don't need it." And then they see that they have a fucking hit. And what do? They put it in theaters. And what happens? They make so much fucking money. So
I
much
bet.
money that they did it twice.
Good for them.
They released it once in, like, September. They made a lot of money, and they were like, "Hey, guys, let's do it again for Halloween." And they put it on fucking Halloween, and they made a lot of fucking money again.
What point is business school hobby if these people can't even know how to make money?
Anyway, let's talk about this fucking movie.
Yes. RIP to your vocal cords, by the way.
I know, I'm struggling.
Was it sicky or were you yelling?
No, it's just me being sick. I don't know what the hell it is.
Sad.
It's honestly it sounds worse than it is.
Very good.
But anyway, so Wake Up Dead Man, which is honestly, I think, a really funny pattern that, like, we were talking about this the other day, that it is the throuple in this
Mhm.
movie, in these movies, where we have these mysteries, and then the third one just happens to have some sort of spooky undertone to it. Still
Yeah.
logical, still within reason, right? There's nothing
Doesn't like jump the shark.
exactly. I don't think
Yeah.
I think if it were to jump the shark, then you lose the magic of, like, what actually is going on with these movies.
100%.
So I'm glad that both of them were able to, like, still play with the spooky, but
And the other
not.
series we're talking about, by the way, is the Murder on the Orient Express
Yeah, do they
series.
have a name?
Like
I know they're
this,
like Agatha Christie, but
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they officially are just dubbed the Murder on the Orient Express movies. Like this is the
mm,
Knives Out series.
yeah,
So I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Yeah.
I will say I'm
Hercule Poirot.
as far as, how sometimes you have people who are like, "Oh, I prefer this over this," right? I think this franchise is better than this franchise, and they're, like, the same.
Yeah.
I like both of these equally. I think they both hit a very different itch,
The franchises.
the franchises.
Mm.
They both scratch a very particular itch. They're very similar itches, but they both scratch it differently enough that I'm okay with them both being as good as they are and praising both of them.
I prefer Knives Out largely because I feel like drawn into the world of Knives Out. Like I
Yeah,
feel like if I see another Murder on the Orient Express movie, like I'm like I'm excited to see Hercule Poirot again.
he Hercule Poirot.
But like for Knives Out, I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go back, baby. Like I'm like, and maybe like this one will have like a cameo from a previous movie or something. Like I feel like
Ooh.
obviously this would never like obviously like this series would never become like a theme park, but I feel like for me it's developed enough intrigue and world building where I would like want to like visit this place. Even though this place is just like our world with Foghorn
Uh-huh.
Leghorn solving crimes. But I kind of love the Knives Out universe. Like for me it's entered that level of like Narnia or like Hogwarts or like one of those places where you kind of want to visit.
That's fair. So in this movie, I love the synopsis is just like, hey, he's got a new case. All right, cool. So broad strokes is there's a little church. A priest gets fired from, well, not fired, he gets basically, like, moved from,
Reassigned
reassigned. There you go.
for decking a deacon.
For punching a deacon, which
Which
is really very
spoilers,
good.
which spoilers, I was like fully convinced like that would come up later and that would be something important. I don't think you ever find out why he punched the deacon, other than the deacon was just like saying some shit, but you never found out like what shit the deacon was saying or who the
He
deacon
does
was.
say something about, he said some really rude shit. I think it was like, I think it implied something homophobic.
Probably,
I think
but
that's
like,
what he
yeah,
said. I can't remember. But yeah, it's he punches him, he gets sent to this new church, Our Lady of Perpetual Fortitude.
yes,
And boy oh boy, listen up everybody. Um Big shout out to Josh Brolin in Big 2025.
yeah,
Cuz holy shit, he has had a year. He was in The Running Man, he was in this, he was in Weapons.
yep. It's
Big
a good year
year
for
for him.
Josh.
Apparently, he's also in that American Revolution show that all the nerds are watching.
The Ken Burns documentary?
I believe so. He like voices some of the stuff.
Fascinating. He could I feel
I
like
don't know.
his voice
He
would
has
be
that
good too.
voice.
Yeah, good for an American Revolution documentary.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So he's on this. He plays Monsignor Jefferson Wicks. He's an
Mhm.
asshole. I love that this movie never tries to not paint him as an asshole.
That's kind of his character in a nutshell. Like, if you're
Yeah,
making a characterization chart, first trait, asshole.
just asshole.
Yeah.
And because that's I feel like a lot of the time some movies will like go out of their way to kind of be like, all right, yes, he was an asshole, but here's why he was an
Here's his
asshole.
layers, you
Here's his
know?
layers. And this movie's like, no, sometimes bad people just need to go.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
this guy.
He just sucks all around.
He just sucks. Nobody likes him in particular. Like some people do have this weird, like Donald Trumpian, like
Wait,
admiration for him.
so I have to ask you, because I think this will bring us to like our characters. It was confirmed that when preparing for this movie, Ryan Johnson was reading up on the Edgar Allan Poe. Do you think he was do you
Mm,
think he was also in?
Spooky Poe.
Because I see parallels. I think, well, at first I drew parallels between that and spooky vampires.
Okay.
A
Yes. I
Yeah,
mean, well, it's hard
mysterious.
not to draw parallels to spooky vampires
Yeah,
because the religion theme and the whole like of the
the
church
religion
is so
theme,
prominent there.
the spooky priest who has like a weirdly simpy old lady, like at his beck and call. Yeah, I think that's like the biggest parts of it. The idealist younger character. Right?
Yeah.
These aren't the deepest parallels, but I was like, like I'm seeing the inspo. And then when I heard he was also reading Poe, I was like, oh, I feel like he definitely had to be watching some
Yeah, I
Flag.
can see that. But I do like the fact that even if he is being like slightly influenced by that, like it still feels true to like what we've seen from him before. He's
Yes.
not just putting in new shit here for the lulz. Like the characters still feel like they fall in line with his universe, which is already a little heightened.
Right.
Question for you. In this movie, does it feel slightly less heightened than in the previous two?
So define heightened, and then I'll answer your
So,
question.
all right. So in the first movie, we have essentially like a caricature of a wealthy family,
Hmm.
right? You have like the very like chuddy younger like son in the family. You have like the racist uncle.
Yeah.
You have like all these people who are like backstabby and like they feel real, but just a little bit cranked up.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, you're like, yes, these people kind of exist, but not to this degree.
Right.
Then in Glass Onion, you're kind of hitting that part where you're like, okay, we're getting to this part where like these are very like heightened characters, but holy shit, we do kind of have these people in real life now too. And then this
Heightened
one, it's
and
almost like they get cranked down.
well,
They
they're
feel
also
a lot more human.
more timely tropes in Glass Onion. I
Hmm.
feel like Knives Out is the more timeless movie because like you see like some stuff that hit at like 2019, mostly with like the nephew, who you
Hmm.
don't hear a lot of, but he was like I forget if they even called him out alt right, but even that term is kind of like outdated now anymore, even though it's very much like now it's not the alt right, now it's just the right. But other than that, I feel like every other character in that movie could like live in any other time. I mean, Glass Onion is very much like a product of is very much a product of its time.
Hmm.
Um, I think this movie is also very much a product of its time, um, with its characters. However, I will say I think one of the things I missed in those first 2 movies, I feel like you got an even spread of, like, all the characters. I don't think you get that even spread as much as
So that's actually going to be one of my criticisms for this
Yeah.
movie, where I feel like it really is just it doesn't feel like an ensemble movie. It definitely feels like, oh, this is Judd and Blanc's movie.
Yes.
Everybody else here is absolutely a side character.
And I would say
Whereas
Judd, Blanc,
yeah.
and
Oh
then
yeah, for sure.
Glenn Close, Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, but I do feel like that's appropriate for the other movies too, where Blanc being Blanc, him
Yeah.
being so, like, analytical and kind of I don't wanna say removed because, like, I mean, he is removed. This no matter what happens with this crime, like, he's not personally involved.
Mhm.
He's very, like, third party.
Yep.
So, like, it always does have to be about the person involved in the crime. So in the first movie, it is Ana de Armas's movie.
Yeah.
In the second movie, it is I keep on forgetting, I wanna say Kerry Washington, but it's not her.
No.
Because that's the one from this movie.
She's a singer,
She's
is she
one
not?
Huh?
The one from the second movie is a singer, is she not?
Yeah, is it why am I blanking on that movie?
Janelle Monáe.
Yes, Janelle Monáe. So, like, always and in this movie, it is Judd's movie because they are the ones who have, like, something to lose,
Something
I
to
guess,
lose.
at the end of the day, and I think that even though it doesn't have to, it is smart to focus on that.
I think it is smart, especially because the fact that I think the movies become less about Blanc as they go on. Like, I agree that it is Ana de Armas' movie and Knives Out, but I do feel that, like, Blanc comes in and is new enough to us where like, he Knives Out feels the most like his movie, and then Glass Onion a little less, and then I would say Wake Up Dead Man even less than that. But yes, I do kinda wish the ensemble was more spread out as it was in the
Mhm.
first 2. I feel in the first 2, each character kind of gets their place to
Something to
shine.
do.
And then in this one, I'm like, I feel like I don't know exactly who I would cut out, but, like, I feel like you could cut entire characters out of the movie, and you could still keep the bones of,
You
like,
can cut out most of
character.
these characters,
Yeah.
and nothing would you could combine a few of these characters, and nothing would particularly change.
Like, the author.
The author could go away entirely.
Yep.
I feel you could combine Gary Washington's character and Cy, who's like
Yeah.
the bastard son. Like those 2 characters could be easily become one. Um, shit, even the doctor, I feel like not necessarily that you can't have him in there, but like you could probably put something else in that as well.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know. I just feel like as far as like ensemble movies goes, this is like the one where I feel like they have the least to do.
And then while I'm on the point of my 2 main criticisms, that's my biggest criticism, is the balance of the characters. I will say my second biggest criticism, I go back and forth on because I do like the fact that this movie did experiment and took a different tone. At the same point as I'm watching, I'm like, "This is executed very well," but I kinda miss the more fun ones. Like I
Yeah, this
watched
is not.
Glass Onion, and I'm like, "I'm ready to watch Glass Onion again." And, like, for this, I kinda wanna watch it again because I think what it excels at actually is the characters that it does focus on. It, like, focuses on very well, and I kind of wanna, like,
Mhm.
reexamine those character dynamics, but, like, in terms of, like, getting ready to jump back in, I'm like, "Ah, it was very good," but I'm not, like, elated like I was with
Yeah. I do like the initial mystery, which is on um Good Friday, Home Dog gets stabbed.
Yep.
The main priest gets stabbed in the back.
In a room by himself.
In like a little supply closet. There's no way in or out. There's no
Yeah.
hidden compartments. I think the reveal for how the crime happens is done very well. I will say I'm not one to usually clock these types of things. I don't particularly like focusing on like, oh, what's the gotcha? But I feel
Yeah.
like in this movie, I was able to at least pin like, okay, how did the murder happen? I got that. It's more of the why and like then some of the other like ancillary things, like more of the side things.
I think the
Yeah.
why can be initially confusing.
You find
Like,
the why confusing?
I think you need to, like, kinda, like, you see the movie gives you the why over the course of, like, a few twists and turns, right? As a good whodunit should do, but I feel like after getting the why, I had to, like, pause and process, and I'm like, A happened, B happened, C happened, D happened. I'm like, "Okay,
Mhm.
I've got the why." Like, I
Yeah.
don't feel like
So
it's as cut and dry as the first one, even though I wouldn't say, like, the first one is a cut and dry movie. The second one leaned into, like, "This is just stupid." right. Which I think
which
works
is
very well.
which works in that movie. It
Yes.
works.
Yeah.
Um,
This one I think is, how shall I say? I don't feel it's like the perfect mystery or like the perfect unsequencing of events. Like I look at
mhm.
it and I'm like, I get it. I like it. It feels a little messy.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. Let's talk about how this happens.
Yeah.
So this guy gets killed, which then leads to in the whole burial process, he gets placed in this mausoleum, and the whole
A
point is like,
whitewashed tomb.
yep, a whitewashed tomb. Then on whatever day, the door opens and he walks out, and they're like, "Oh, a miracle!" Well, no, it's not a miracle. It's somebody else. Somebody else then ends up getting killed. Bing, bang, boom. We find out that it is actually the doctor, played by
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner in his second crime of 2025,
Impressive.
and impressive, pretty
Yeah.
pretty impressive. And then also Martha, who's like the what is she supposed to be? Because I don't think she's a nun.
No. Well, she's whatever what's her name was in Midnight Mass. She just kind of like she handles the rectory. She handles the church.
Yeah, what's the term for
She's not
that?
ordained. She doesn't have like an official position. Yeah.
Fair.
She just kind of
Yeah,
manages the property of the church.
yeah, a loyal church lady, if that's described.
A loyalty.
But yeah, so yeah, she runs the book. She kind of helps keep things clean. So yeah, she's not an official nurse, but she does a lot of not nurse, none, but she does a lot of like those types of duties, I guess,
Yes.
managing. We find out that it was her and the doctor who orchestrated this after basically the the priest found out where this like fortune is.
Yeah.
What I am a little murky on is how he found that. I can't remember.
How
Oh, right, because she confessed. She confessed to him what she saw when she was a kid.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
Judd is telling her, like, "No, this guy sucks. He's going to destroy this church. He's not a good man." She's like,
Right.
"No, he is a good boy."
Right.
And so he dares her to
Confess a
reveal
secret.
his yeah, she
Yeah,
goes like, "Hey, if he's such a good man, you should be able to confess your deepest, darkest secret. He'll be good."
exactly.
Which is when she finds, yeah, okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Had to process this again.
Can you imagine? Can we talk deeply about like what the fortune is and what the deepest darkest secret is? Like,
Yeah, let's go
could you
because
imagine?
that's what this leads to, right? So
Yeah,
why are they killing this man?
big ass diamond,
Big ass diamond.
big ass diamond,
Hell yeah, bro.
and his dad, who was a priest, sudoku'd himself, excuse me, by eating the diamond. And I'm like, man,
Bad plan.
of all the ways, my brother,
Not good. Not a good way to go.
you could have picked something else. You could find a pond, right? That diamond could go there. You could go in the pond too. I don't know, but man, that sounds miserable.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it made its way where it needed to go.
Yeah, right into the tub
'Cause it's
totem.
not like it was found in his throat. No, it was found like in his guts.
I did like that reveal of his skeleton where you do briefly see that like something like there's been a mess been made in like the gut area of the skeleton,
Mhm.
but nobody kind of like stops to comment on it. I did like how they kind of revealed that clue
It's
early
dark.
on.
It's dark
Yes.
in there. It's also like a very quick shot, but I did also note that it was very, like, purposeful, that it focused on, like, the pelvic area of this, like, skeleton.
Yes, that lets you know that there's something
Something was
yeah,
there.
there was something there. I think people will use this to advantage to kind of like make suspense happen because I feel like there's a lot going on. And all of his movies kinda do that, like in the most tense scenes. Like there's a lot going on very quickly, and you have
Mhm.
to like you process everything frame by frame, and then you're like, "Okay, how do I put this all together?" Right? What's the missing piece? As Benoit Blanc would say. And I feel like that scene does a very good job at it, where you see the tomb, you see like what's open, not open, and you're like, okay, I know there's something up with this skeleton. I know it has to do with like the tummy or something in that area, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it could be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm trying to figure out if it was purely coincidental or if it was actually planned out was the thing with the oh geez, with the devil head
Mm,
because he accidentally breaks it while he's like a little drunk.
yes.
He takes it
What a
and
nice
then
themed bar, by the way.
yeah,
Like
I
at
think
first,
it's
when
cute.
he first visits, it just kind of looks like a normal bar to me, like some like devil-y stuff. But I'm like, all right, whatever. It's a bar. It could have that. And then like you go back and you're like, oh, they lean into this. The
This is
fire and the
this is
booths.
this is the thing.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's cute. Um, but then it's kind of revealed that like he has a picture. He keeps going like this,
Right.
and he's noticing something is missing, and then they show us, and then there's a misdirect. Again, it's one of those things that like maybe it's after watching so many of these movies, like even if I'm not trying to figure out what exactly it is that I'm looking for, you do notice that there's like two lamps and like something is missing from the back one.
I did not notice that. I did not notice that at
I
all.
noticed it, but my eyesight's really honestly not great lately. I couldn't tell
Yeah.
what was I knew something was missing. I didn't know what, but the lamp was one of those things. I was like, okay, something with the lamp, kind of putting two and two together. I was like, oh, I'm assuming it's probably the same thing. So there's a second thing. Okay. But then that's the thing that I'm like, is this a coincidence that they knew that he had the other one because he threw it into the thing? Martha said she didn't find anything the second day.
Right.
So then did they plan to go back to this place, steal the second lamp thing, and that's how they committed the murder?
So I would imagine
It just feels like too much planning.
the yes, the devil head as a murder tool could have only come into place after Judd throws it, right?
Yes.
So
Otherwise, it's purely coincidental.
yes, I agree. And I forget what the timeline of that is, like how much time had gone back and forth in between that.
I want
But
to
I
say it was
forget.
like the next day,
Yeah, that's a lot of
right?
that's a lot of things to coordinate.
Because like all of that happens in like the span of like less than a week.
Yes. And then because I forget the pummel is
Yeah.
supposed to the initial pummel has the blood that the doctor is in on, right? And then he uses the remote, which then
Yeah, it
makes the
has
blood go
paint.
in,
Yeah.
right? But then whoever would have examined the body would have had to like if things went the way that Monsignor wanted them to go, like whoever would have examined the body, which I guess would have been the doctor, right? They would have had to say, it was a stab, but then once it got into like the medical's office, right? Then you wouldn't have seen then like they would not have seen an actual stab wound. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Or no?
No, what do you
So
mean?
so Monsignor, his plan is to fake his death with the tranquilizer,
No.
right?
No, 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 no. Monsignor's not in on this at all. Monsignor just he goes he calls the company to get a forklift to open the door. That's it.
But then I
He is not anything to do with the doctor at all.
I thought he was in on faking his death.
Uh-uh.
Or no, no.
No.
So why did he
His whole
call for the
thing was,
forklift?
we're gonna open this tomb because I know that's where the treasure is. Bing bang boom, I fuck off. Fuck all y'all. Bye. I'm going home.
I see.
And then because of that is what causes them to like kill him by first knocking him out, then swapping the head, stabbing him, killing him with that stab as he's already knocked out.
So why is the head on him in the first place?
Why is what?
Why is the head on him in the first place? Just so that it's seen?
Because so the
Yeah,
head is means to deliver like fake blood
I see.
and to make someone think that like he's been stabbed. Because you can't
Gotcha.
clearly stab him back in there.
Yes. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And
Okay.
so then when he goes in, before the guy lifts it, he tells him like, don't pick it up. And that's when he swaps out the thing.
So this is where I feel like I need to watch it again because I thought Monsignor knew he was faking his death by means of at least appearing unconscious, but
No.
didn't intend on actually dying.
Mhm.
And then the doctor wanted to actually kill him so they could take the gold.
No, it was a matter of they needed him gone, they needed him dead because he
Yeah.
was gonna burn the whole church.
Yes.
Like Yeah, not literally, but yeah.
But then why do they need him raised from the dead then?
Oh, because that was a way for Martha to kind of bring life back to the church after he was basically dead.
Yes, the
The church
miracle.
was essentially dying,
Yeah.
and she didn't want the church to go away, so she said, "If we kinda make it look like a miracle, then, like, it might draw more people in here."
Then this makes more sense. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
very good.
We're smart.
Very good.
It is a convoluted plan, but I do think when you kinda start piecing things together, it does make sense. The way the pieces are laid out connect well enough that I'm, like, not upset about it. I was
Yeah.
telling Katie on the way out, I'm like, I feel like this is the movie with the I don't wanna say worst mystery, like, right off the bat, it's very clear that Martha's in on it. Like,
Yes.
I think this is, like, the most obvious. Sometimes, like, the obvious might be a red herring, but I was like, "No, there's a lot of moving parts here that I feel like Martha is the person
Right.
involved." Nat coming in later, I do think that I didn't initially clock until it was him that pulled the knife out, and I was, "Okay, well, he's the only one that could have put the knife in."
Yeah.
Because also then Katie was like, "Well, wasn't the" what's it called? Because Katie was also like, kinda like you thinking that the priest was in on it. And I was like, "Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because, like, the body is there."
Right.
Like, they jiggle this fucking body. They make a point of jiggling this body. Very funny scene. I was like, "But you can't fake that. That's
Yes.
a dead body or it's not."
Yeah.
Mm. So, I do think that for me, even though the who done it was not as interesting, it was the how they done it that I did
Right.
find satisfying.
Which you kind of see which you kind of see in Glass Onion as well, where you know that Edward Norton has to be up to something no good and
But
involved in something.
even in that movie, they make it less obvious. Like, I
Correct.
think the implication is that it's him because he's such a piece of shit,
Yeah.
but I don't think in that movie, I was like, "I know it's him." I think he was never not a suspect, but there
And
were other people that I'm like, "Oh, they could also be it." In this movie, I was like, "Oh, no, it's this old fucking lady. It's fucking Glenn Close."
and forgive me if I'm making the mistake, but I also believe in Glass Onion, it really is just Edward Norton who's, like, involved, and then Dave Bautista finds out about something and then, like, gets got, but it
Yeah.
really is just, like, all Edward Norton,
Mhm.
whereas and then at that point, you can, like, kinda diffuse, like, the red herringness among all the other characters,
Mhm.
whereas here, it's like, it's the characters who have screen time.
Yeah, and I really do think if that's also then a problem as far as, like, having an ensemble film where your ensemble doesn't get that screen time, like you say,
Right.
like, because then it also feels like whenever the other characters do have screen time, well, it doesn't it's nothing relevant, it's nothing important.
Yeah.
There's a scene where, like, the Dravens, is that their name?
Which family is that that's the lawyer
Yeah,
that's the lawyer, right?
it's
Yeah.
the lawyer family, right? So, like,
Yeah.
it's the Dravens, they, like it's just a very random conversation, like, that doesn't really mean anything, and you're like, "Why is this fucking scene here?" Like, is it just because we have Kerry Washington and we need her to earn
To
that
do
paycheck?
something. Right.
So it's like, okay, like, I don't think a lot of those scenes mattered. It's not like when they're at the bar and they run into Jeremy Renner, where you're like, okay, well, he's there because they ran into him. The scene is somewhat important to the plot. Where they went back to talk to those two characters to the Dravens, like it really was for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Not as,
I also
like not as neat.
not as neat.
Yeah, there's splinters in
Um,
the soul.
fucking Kaylee Spaney doesn't do anything in this movie.
She's the cellist, right?
Yeah, she's a cellist in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Her character amounts to nothing at the end of the day. I also felt like that was a bit of a like, what's the point here? I guess money makes her somewhat suspicious,
Well, that's
but
the thing with her, I was like, "Are we supposed to not like her?" Like, 'cause they're kinda painted like all these characters have got some dirt, Like
Mhm.
they're all kind of nefarious in some way. Kind of like the other two movies. But then it gets
I
to
feel like
her,
even for
and I'm
her, it's
like,
more like, oh, she's just
you
kind
just
of
had kind of a
dumb.
rough go at things, girl.
A bit of a rough go, but also kind of dumb to believe that like this like snake oil salesman is gonna heal you.
Kind of dumb. And then also because it's like because she's like a cellist, like I'm not that sad over it. As sad as that is to say, I'm like, oh,
Donald
like you
doesn't
know,
like the arts.
I love the arts, but I
Find a real
realize,
instrument, Simone.
look, success in the arts is a combination of like luck and skill. And I feel like there's many people who have all the skill who don't have all the luck. And like that's just kind
Hmm.
of what like them's the breaks.
Them's the
That's
breaks.
that's show business.
I I don't know. I feel like the inclusion of Psy as a character is also a little weird. It's just like a means for someone else to be kind of involved and be a problem.
He's the grown
But
up version
like,
of the nephew from the first one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's the grown up version of that. You're not wrong. I do think so that to me I think feels a little weak because like yes he is relevant but at the same time like he doesn't really do anything about it. So
Yeah.
like it just kind of feels like it went nowhere.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for Samson. Our boy Samson did nothing wrong. He was just a bit of a simp.
Very much simple.
He's just a man who loved his wife.
Oh, yeah.
I do think Martha was smart in the way she handled Nat when she
Mm,
goes to confront him. He tells her a lie so she knows, but then she kind of puts two and two together. He's gonna kill her.
yes. Yes, yes,
The
yes.
reveal of that was appropriately creepy. Of
Yeah,
the vat full of like sulfuric acid.
I love the acid vat. I love the arms that are like dissolved with the body in the
It's a
ring.
cool reveal of the way like it's draining and this is like the bones. That was cool. I appreciate the whole thing with Martha having to confess.
Mm,
Like I think it's thematically appropriate because like it mirrors what Judd says at one point in the movie. He's like, I need to confess what I've done. Like I need to do this of my own free will. And
yep.
so then it's nice that it even though Blanc is not a man of faith, like he kind of recognizes then what that means for someone to do it.
Yes, he needs Judd to do what Judd is there. What he needs Judd to do his job.
And that too, I think it's
Yeah.
a good way for him to reinforce Judd's
Calling.
self-worth. But then it also gives then Martha a way to like I don't want to say redeem herself. What she did is fucking still murder.
Right. And she
But
doesn't really have chance at the end to like she can confess, but she also doesn't have chance at the end to like make that much amends for
no.
anything. Yeah,
No, she's dying.
exactly. Of her own accord. Of her
Of
own
her own
accord.
accord.
That's why I
Which is
kind of feel
already
like
there like two sins.
I think Martha does kind of get off a little too scot free
Yes.
here because she takes the tranquilizer of her own accord, right?
Yeah.
Like she didn't drink it on accident from the cup.
No,
Yeah.
she's I think she's so guilt ridden
Yeah,
that that's her way of being like, oh, I this is my amends.
I think that if Martha were to exit the movie more sympathetic in our own eyes, then I feel like she would have had to like stick around and like face the music.
Because
Like
dude, she's such a bitch. She's
it's not
such
as
a bitch
dramatic
the
as
whole
having her
movie.
die, but it's like, all right, like this is she's cheating. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way. Yeah. She's cheating.
Yeah. She's mean as hell the entire time.
Yeah.
It's like when she like even when the little girl when she's a little girl and is like taunting the fucking lady who's like looking for her inheritance. She's
Yeah.
like laughing as she's getting pummeled. I'm
Yep.
like, this little girl is vindictive as shit.
You're getting bullied by a 12-year-old.
Getting bullied by an
Worst kind of
8-year-old girl.
the worst kind of
So
bully.
like it's one of those things where you're like, this lady is just like not a good person. It's not even like, oh, she's a good person doing something bad
No.
for like a thing, right? No, this is just she's just
A
vindictive
mean,
and
yeah,
mean. So yeah, I don't
a
know.
mean
I don't
lady.
particularly feel bad for Martha. I do think it's a nice gesture what they do for her, especially Judd as a man of God, and I guess it's also good for Blanc to kind of have that mentality of like, okay, even though this means nothing to me,
Yeah,
I can see how this means a lot to you, so I will grant you that.
it's Judd's opportunity to be the hero.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know. I I do find it kind of funny that he hides the diamond in like the most obvious fucking place. Listen, dude,
It can be
if
found.
I'm Psy and I go back to this fucking church, if I
Yeah.
hear, hey, the priest opened the church and guess what? There's a brand new cross.
Crucifix. Yeah.
There's a brand new cross with a Jesus and there's like a crack in the chest. Oh, that is 1000%
Where it
where I'm
is.
looking.
Yeah. Just need a flashlight to like shine that in there. And
The sun
shine that
needs
in
to
there.
hit the right spot.
Well, that's where I think that by the end, I feel like the side character adds more mess to the movie than anything. Right.
It feels like it just leaves Judd like on the back foot anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like in the other two movies, like your main character ends like kind of very clear of everything,
Clear everything. Things are cleaned up. Right.
cleaned
Here,
up, and here,
Sai is kind of a looming threat, even though like he's played for you get to laugh at him a lot in this movie. Like I think my
yeah,
favorite laugh is when what's it called, leaves apple or whatever. And they're like, well, where could it be? You find it like in there, you tell me. And they're like, oh, it's the point where they're like, yeah, I don't know anything about that. And then they run into the office.
yeah. That
That's,
was
I think
very
that was, yeah, that was my biggest laugh in
that was a
the,
good laugh. I mean,
yeah,
here's the thing. I think one of the reasons why these movies do even with some of the flaws that I have, why they do hit is because they are so goddamn funny.
that. And I think I think this movie's biggest strength is honestly character and not the even spread of characters that the other ones have, but I think Josh O'Connor's character and then kind of using Benoit Blanc to sort of like bounce off on Josh O'Connor. I feel like that's so compelling that that's what makes me really I don't know. I don't want to say love because it's a different love than the other two, but I think that's what makes me buy into this movie so much.
Mhm.
Um, and that's kind of like why I want to revisit because I want to see more of that. And that's what I'm going to give Ryan Johnson a lot of credit for because like it's hard to it's hard to make a good threequel, right? And I would say that this is probably still I would rank this as probably still my least favorite of the three.
Yeah.
But I will say I do want to revisit this movie and I want to revisit it for different reasons than I did the other two. And I think that's impressive.
I
Would you
think I
agree?
need to revisit Glass Onion because I haven't seen it since we saw it in theater.
I've seen it at
Maybe
least
I
one more
saw it
time.
once, like right after on
Yeah.
streaming.
Are you saying that now, like just putting things directly onto streaming doesn't mean you're going to watch it again and again and again and again?
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who'd have fucking thought?
Yeah,
Friend,
who would have
you know what the crazy thing is? Over the
thought?
over the last year, because we've talked about it so much, I'm like, I want to rewatch Haunting of Hill House. I
Uh-huh.
want to rewatch Midnight Mass. I
Hmm.
want to rewatch Spooky Poe, and I
Hmm.
still have it, and it's readily available. I'm like, I got so much shit to do.
Those I will say are commitments. I think there was a time, like you used to be able to do this with network TV for sure, but I think there was a time with drama TV where I could be like, I'm going to watch this specific episode of Dexter. Right. I don't think I can do that anymore with like with with narrative driven television dramas. I think if I'm gonna pick up like a show that has an overarching story, I'll be like, oh fuck, I gotta start it like the
I'm like, ah, fuck.
I gotta start at the beginning.
Yeah, it's wild. All right, friendo. Well, very good movie overall. I think it's definitely worth the price of admission at a strange theater.
You know, our strange theater though is a good strange theater.
It's a great
I'll say
strange
our
theater. Relatively cheap.
the Kendall. I was saying our strange theater, I think
Yep,
knocks hits above its weight class.
for
We
sure.
got little mints. We
Yeah.
got little mints. Yeah.
It's the little things, friend. We
Yeah.
got mints, we got heated seats,
Yeah.
recliners in a non-Dolby movie theater, good sound,
Yeah.
guy with Tourette's making a ruckus while trying to watch this fucking movie.
I felt so bad, but it was
This man was right in front of Katie, and half the time Katie's like, "I can't see shit."
it was jarring at first because I didn't fully understand what was happening for the first couple times, and then I understood. I was like, ah, okay. But but it was something to see as we talk about this here.
You sit in the back.
I won't say yes or no. I won't say
We
yes or
gotta
no.
be, we gotta be, what's the word? Considerate of the people
Considerate of
behind
others.
us.
Consider it. We'll have an extra conversation on this for our Patreon.
Uh, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Give this a like, share it with your friends. Until next time, he has been Thano.
He has been Javier.
This has been the Cine-Scoots Movie Show. Bye.
Bye.